Now, one of the areas I'm being asked a lot of at the moment from my clients is around change and the whole change process that individuals, businesses and teams are going through currently. There's a lot of adaptability which needs to happen for individuals currently for them to go and thrive in this new environment. And all of a sudden the structure, the familiarity, the team relationships, everything which was a certainty before has disappeared. They're going to have to go and adapt to that change. Now, importantly, you need to be aware as a leader that individuals go through a change process. Now, this change process is nicely summarized here from Kubler and Ross. Individuals are initially going to start with awareness of that change. They then go through almost a period of shock, denial, and almost resistance to the change, and that cannot believe this is happening to them. They almost check out before they then move on to this resignation that this change is happening. This is going to be a way of life going forward. They then start building new habits to go and adapt to that change and that eventual acceptance to that. So as a leader, there's a few things to be aware of with this change cycle. Firstly, individuals are going to go through, if not all, some of these elements within any change that's being imposed upon them. As a leader, you need to be aware where you are on that change cycle, but also where your individual team members are on that change cycle, and make sure you're supporting them accordingly. Secondly, and this is a really key point here, people aren't necessarily reacting to the change itself, they're going to be reacting to the process of change which is happening to them. I'll say that again, people aren't going to be reacting to the change itself, instead they're going to be reacting to the process of the change which is being imposed on them. Now, the change has already happened to the individual. Yeah, they've already moved through that. They're already maybe working from home. They've already started to adapt that new way, but they're still trying to process in their own mind around change and that whole change process which is going through their way of working. Now, as a leader, this is quite key. You need to make sure you are managing that change process. So how can you manage that? Well, firstly, you need to make sure you're constantly providing information, as much information as you can to individual team members. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Total transparency as to the way you're going to go and are doing things. Secondly, you need to be aware that things are very different now to where they were a week or 2 weeks ago. So you need to be readily able or willing to go and scrap old rules, old ways of working, and be seen to adapt that within your own working style, but also that of the company. Thirdly, you're not going to have all the answers, but importantly, the team wants to have confidence that you know or they know in terms of where you are going. So as a leader, it's important that you share in terms of exactly what the actual next steps are, what you know, what's going to be happening the next day or the next week, and what your plan is. Give them some certainty. That's what they're looking for at the moment. So, some simple tips there. Firstly, be aware of the change cycle. Secondly, be aware where individuals are or your individual team members are on that change cycle and look to support them. Thirdly, communicate, communicate, communicate. Total transparency in the way that you are working, particularly over the next sort of few weeks and next few months as things are changed so rapidly. And lastly, make sure you're communicating what the actual next steps are. Give them some certainty, whether it's over the next day, over the next week, as to what's going to be happening within their business and what your plan is. Stay healthy and stay safe.